Hi, I'm John from WorkshopAddict.com. This is our second video in a three-part series on how to install ceramic tile. In the first video we laid down our hardy board backer board, and in this video we are going to be laying out our ceramic tile and installing it. The most accepted way to lay out tile is to snap some chalk lines and find the center of the room. From there you'd want to check for squareness with a carpenter's triangle by laying out a 3-foot line on one of the axes, a 4-foot line on the other axis, and when you connect the 2 points, that hypotenuse should be 5 foot long. After you've checked for squareness, lay out your tiles and spacers along one of the lines from the center to the wall. If the space at the wall is narrower than half of a tile, move the center point back a half tile. This will give you wider cuts of tile along both walls. Since our room was so small and the back wall was going to be covered with pantry shelves, we took a little different approach to laying out our tiles, as you will see. So first what we did is we took our back wall here, which is 71 inches long. We went over 35.5 inches to find the middle point of the wall. Same thing on the front wall, and we snapped a little line there so we know the middle of this part of the wall. Then we did the same thing with these outside walls, which again was 35.5 inches, snapped our line to find the center. From there, we've laid out our tile, so this will be the most visually appealing way to look at the wall. Look at the room. You're going to have the same cuts all the way around. Now, everything fits out really well on both side walls and the back wall, but unfortunately at the threshold of the door, we have about an inch that we would have to cut, and that's too small of a piece right next to an entrance. So what we're going to do is shift all of our tiles about an inch that way and work off this center line. Now that you have your tiles laid out and you have a starting point, it's time to start mixing up our thin set, just like we did in video 1. Be sure to mix up about a quarter of a bucket at a time. That way you have a small manageable area to lay down at once. Now we're going to pick the trowel that we need to do for this job. This Hart Quick-Tatch kit makes it really nice. You have your container and all your different notch trowels, and a removable handle. Makes this job quick and easy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to spread some thin set for our first row of tile. First thing we're going to do is put down our little transition strip here. Now we're going to set our tiles right over top of it, right next to that line. Push on your tile and give it a little twist. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little spacer in between this. I believe we're using 1/8 inch spacers for our grout lines. Work those in. Again, twisting and pushing down on your tile. Just that quick, the first row is done, and now we're going to move on to the rest. When laying down your thin set, make sure to hold your trowel at a 45 to a 70 degree angle so that you can get the grooves necessary to hold the tiles into place. When laying down your tiles, be sure to keep an eye on your grout lines. Even with using spacers, it can be easy to get off track, and once your tiles are down, they're extremely hard to get back up. You're going to come to a point where you're going to need to make some cuts. And this is done simply by following the simple rule. What you do is you take your first tile, set it directly over the tile right next to where you need to make the cut. Once that's centered, take another tile, stand it up against the wall. That's going to give you your gap that you need all the way around. Now set another tile on top. Slide it all the way to that tile that gives you your gap, and then mark this bottom tile. What you do with that is you cut the bottom tile and you keep the piece that's showing on this side. When cutting tiles, be sure to wear your hearing and eye protection. For this job, we're using the rigid 10-inch wet tile saw, also known as the Beast. With this saw, we can cut tiles up to 34 inches long. Alright, we have our tiles laid down right now, and a couple quick tips. As you're laying your tiles, you're inevitably going to have some thin set move out in between your tiles. What you should do is clean that out as much as possible before it gets hard. It'll make your job easier when you get ready to set grout. Another thing is, you see me on these tiles right now, this is 24 hours after we laid them. You want to stay off of them for about 24 hours because the thin set is still going to be a little soft and you have a possibility of moving your tiles around, and once it sets up, you're not going to be able to fix your grout lines. So check out our third video on where we actually go ahead and we're going to finish this project up by grouting our lines and sealing the tiles. To find more information out about the products used in this video, check the link in the description below or check them out on Home Depot's website. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video today. Please subscribe to our channel, check out some other videos that we have going on, stop over at WorkshopAddict.com and let us know about your projects and what you've got going on. Also look for us on the social media sites. And until next time, I'm John from WorkshopAddict.com. Talk to you later.